I like the Sean Davis return though, man. I think him coming back is huge because we talked about from a safety depth standpoint, there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, that was a good play. That was a good play.
Behind Minka and Edmonds, the next best safety was Jordan Dangerfield. And we know from an athletic standpoint, those guys are more polished. They can do a lot more. Obviously, their draft pedigree reflects that, and their productivity does as well. But you bring in a guy, Sean Davis, second round pick, a guy who started in Pittsburgh for 4 years.
I thought he was going to have such a better trajectory than he was. He started off so hot as
But the problem was this.
Him and Burns.
Yeah, but more so the thing with Artie, we talked about Artie lost his confidence and that killed him. The problem with SD was this. They moved him around. He starts out that first year playing in the nickel. Then they move him to free safety. Then he plays strong safety. Then he moves back to free. And you think about all the different safeties he played with. He played with, was it Mike Mitchell for, I think it was a year or two maybe. Then he had Morgan Burnett. Then they brought him in with Terrell Edmonds. So he never got the steady piece. We talked about with Edmonds. The reason why we're anticipating Edmonds taking the next elite forward is because he's going to have continuity being back there with Minka for the next year. The second year together, you anticipate him playing a lot better because he's going to be in one position. He's not having to flip-flop. We talked about how he had to go from playing free to, he had to go from playing strong to playing free when Cam Kelly was back there, and how it changes your communication, it changes your assignments and what you're asked to do. Sometimes you need that continuity. And now with SD being back, even though he's still not going to have the same continuity of being with a guy for multiple years, he has the familiarity. We know from an athletic standpoint, he can do a ton of stuff. But for him, it's just more so just being in one position and just getting a chance to develop at that. The guys who we've seen in the past get to just play one position and ultimately learn it and get really good at it, you see their careers continue to take off and excel. The guys who've moved around a little bit early on, sometimes it works out, but a lot of times it stunts their growth and it hurts them from an overall development standpoint because you never get those fundamental years to ultimately build upon that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, all that stuff that you brought up. Yeah, I'm definitely good with it. I think it definitely makes sense, especially from that safety depth standpoint.
Absolutely. SD, that's my dog, man. He a good dude, man. I'm glad to see that boy back, man. I was mad when he got hurt last year, but it ultimately opened up the door for us to make the trade for Minka Fitzpatrick. But ultimately, man, dude, that's my dog, man. That's my dog, man. Glad he back. Glad he back in the building, man. Shout out to SD.